think I was going to see you again. See, you haven't changed. It's good to see you anyway. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. When I think about the feelings can't explain why after all this time my heart still feels bad. When I look at you, memories of love like no one before. You stay on my mind. Oh, it's so special. We for each other. You will stay on my mind. For always and forever. You will be my Saturday Saturday love. When I think about my feelings can't explain why after all this time my heart still feels pain. When I look at you, memories of love like no one before. You stay on my mind. Feeling so special. Made for each other now. It's on my mind now. Girl, you know I can't leave you behind. There's never any question. You will be my Saturday love. Saturday special time. I thought we'd always be together. But sometimes things just don't work out like before. Life goes on and people grow out of things that fit before. But Saturday remains the same, and I hope it'll never change. For always and forever, you will be mine. You will be mine. Be mine. Let's sing it together. Never Sunday, Monday too soon, Tuesday and Wednesday just walk through. Thursday and Friday, we can begin, but our Saturday love will never leave. in the morning, a tender gaze in the evening, beyond my range of comprehension, until you brought to attention. Greetings always followed by sweet goodbyes. Yes, I must read it send. Baby, can you just relax? Don't look back, don't hurry. Still reminiscing the day when you left me all on my own then. I walked away from any daylight. Instead of dawn, it was twilight. Underneath the disco ball breaks the spell that holds you in my mind. Though I used to dance with you, now we're through. I'm sorry. Don't you dare even try to convince me. Don't you lie about the way that we could be. Love's a game, they'll say it, they mean it. Might as well have fun, play every single one. I fill the holes and the cracks in my heart with fancy high heels and plenty of dresses. They're my sole companions on this journey. Many men are fishing and begging, speak of love, but they're still sad and guessing. Hollow vows, even promises broken. Every face and voice brings memories of you. Glassy eyes shedding tears of my sorrow, hoping they will forget by tomorrow. Praying no one's asking for the reason. Still reminiscing the day when you left me all on my own then. I walked away from any daylight. Instead of dawn, it was twilight. Underneath the disco ball breaks the spell that holds you in my mind. Though I used to dance with you, now we're through. I'm sorry. Don't you dare even try to convince me. Don't you lie about the way that we could be. Love's a game, they'll say it, they mean it. Might as well have fun, play every single one. I fill the holes and the cracks in my heart with fancy high heels and plenty of dresses. They're my sole companions on this journey. 1,000 dazzling lights around me, glimmering with mysticality, as if they're calling me to head back. The tired train rides in dirt that half asleep I hear a sigh. Hear a voice speak whispers left ignored. Should I even bother though? Yes or no, don't worry. I'm just playing games. I know that's plastic love. Yes, it's a plastic beat. I Yes.
I got something I want to tell you. I've got something I want you to know. I'm in love with you, darling. It's so good to me, and I feel that you need me. Oh, it's so plain to see when I'm changing and myself thinking. Your tenderness sets me free, and I know that you feel it. Oh, 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 that you feel it. I get the feeling for you, baby. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Get it up, get it up, get it up, get it up. You just do everything like nobody else. And I need you beside me. Yeah, I wanna give you myself. If I hurt you and you feel bad, your loving ways makes me sad. I feel, yeah. It's so very well. We'll have each other from now I love you, baby. I keep feeling you. Every single day, baby, I keep feeling you. I keep feeling you, baby. Every single day, baby. I keep feeling you.
Good morning and woo! Hopefully you enjoyed this music selection, baby. Shout out to D. Scott. Woo for the $5 super chat. The goddamn law. This goes out to D. Scott. Thank you once again, D. Scott, for the super chat support. Don't forget to support with your cash apps, with your super chats. Oh, man. Give y'all this morning flavor since I got some time today. My next appointment is at 1:30, but we got time, don't we, baby? I'm going to show you something from Dr. T. Hassan Johnson. You know the great Dr. T. Hassan. He wanted me to do a live stream on this. Trying to think, where was it for? Yep. I'm going to show this video. So you might want to get your friends in here. What's up, Sir Anthony? Woo! Long time no see, Sir Anthony.
By the power of Grayskull.
Shout out to Sir Anthony for the support. You might want to get your friends in here because I'm going to talk about some controversial subjects today about women in law enforcement and military services. Do they belong? Do they have a space? That's up to you to decide, but we're just going to talk about it on this beautiful Friday. There's going to be some hurt feelings, some hurt asses, but conversation is being held. Can't hate, only congratulate. Now, I'm going to warn you, it's not gratuitous violence, but if you're going to see in this video how so many times and time again, I've been around female officers who talk to people like they weren't nothing or did not use their tactics and have their friends out. Sup, Snowman? And see, I don't care how big and strong and how versed in martial arts and hand-to-hand combat you are. When a person has, to jump on you, it's very hard to get that person off your ass. You always got to think tactically, effectively, proficiently, and sometimes ruthlessly, and definitely effectively. So you might want to get your friends over here if they want to get on the controversial love train. Excuse me.
Shout out to Roland for sending this.
I like to say shout out to Pink Book Lessons for this one. Shout out to Pink Book Lessons putting this out.
Try to make this full screen. Oh, Black Opal Swan. Hey, how you doing, love? I got two of my lovely ladies, Kareem and Black Opal Swan. Have a fabulous weekend, Officer Faulkner. My old ass will be listening. I'm at work. How you doing, love? Hopefully your week has been prosperous. Bucket 88, what's up? Oh, man. Getting so much love from all my day ones, you know. See, it's beautiful to have people like Shonda H., Kareem, Black Opal Swan, and, Toya the Tutorer, or I like to call her Triple T. Ladies like that, they don't get offended by anything I say because they know directly I'm not talking about them. Those are the ladies you want to hold dear. If you could get one of them, you're a lucky, lucky man. Let's not be faking the funk now. Now, while we watch this, got to give credit to Pink Lessons. Shout out for this one because this is a classic.
Video in is a female cop in Cleveland, Ohio. She's conducting a traffic stop, but she ended up needing some help.
Take a second to make sure that you're subscribed to the channel. If you're watching from Cleveland, let me know below. Drop Cleveland in the comments. Won't waste any time here. Let's go ahead and jump into it.
It starts as a routine traffic stop, but this cop is about to find herself in a major crisis. The driver gets out.
Why are you getting out of the car, sir?
Things go downhill fast when she tells the driver to sit on the ground.
Have a seat. I'm not sitting. I'm not sitting. Back off. Back up. I'm not sitting.
Then it gets really ugly.
Put your hands on the vehicle now.
But look at this. A citizen runs over to help.
What the Radio summon units. Roll over on your stomach now.
Then more Good Samaritans, including another woman, join in. A second police officer also arrives on the scene.
Backing up now.
Working together, they put the driver in handcuffs.
You don't do that to a woman. Do you understand me?
Then he's led away. We located one of those Good Samaritans, Stacia Matucci, the woman who gave the guy a talking to.
You don't do that to a woman.
What compelled you to get out of your car and help?
I didn't even think about it. It was just somebody that was in need of help. So many people just pull out their camera and want to film it and put it on TikTok. And all the action of helping has stopped. I just feel, it's just a part of being human.
Today, police outside Cleveland are praising all those citizens who came to the rescue.
It shows the bravery on their part because they had no idea what they were stepping into. They could have been risking their lives to assist that officer.
I'm not sitting! Back off!
The driver, 64-year-old David Kubek, was charged with assault and resisting arrest. He's pleaded not guilty, claiming he acted in self-defense.
First off, let's get this out of the way. The guy, he is 100% out of order. If he had followed orders, he wouldn't have gotten arrested. I'm going to go ahead and say what even some officers can't say. Female officers and female security guards shouldn't even really exist. And if so, not for this. How is she supposed to protect and serve anybody when she can't protect herself? That's an old man too, by the way. He's 64 years old and still overpowered her. Female officers, maybe they should stick to the administrative work or just do something else that doesn't put her in danger physically. Because she's a woman. I understand a lot of you women think you're as strong as a man and you can do whatever you can.
Now, shout out to Pink Book Lessons for that one. Because if I say it, I'm labeled as a sexist. I don't see anybody coming for her head. But I'm going to tell you this one. A lot of people don't want to say this, but this is the point that I get at people when I tell them this is what your educational system has told you, that men and women are equal. until you put them in equal situations. Then he goes off the roof. And by the way, I want to say this to that lady. Notice that lady didn't come there to help out that officer till about 4 men showed up. 4 or 5 men were there already. And then she yelled, "You don't do this to a woman." That's the same type of chick who, if a woman is beating the hell out of a man, she would just stand there until the man pushes her on the ground or knocks her head loose. And then she'll be like, "You don't do that to a female." And the whole time, she sees the female beating the hell out of the man. Continuing.
You can do it, do it better. Yeah, all that feminism rhetoric you heard, but this is real life. 5 dudes had to run over there to help her. Yet the media, they're focusing on the one woman who came to not really help because they basically had it under control by the time she came over there. And if they didn't, she wasn't a good Samaritan that helped. Here's more of that queen, goddess, warrior foolishness. I'm sorry, women doing jobs like this is more of a liability than anything. A liability for men who work with her and have to protect her, and a liability for regular civilians too. You need to go get another job. This is super embarrassing, and they're trying to make it seem like the women in the situation, they're the heroes. I told y'all, don't let that woman king and that Hollywood foolishness get you hemmed up in the streets for real, ladies. It's way easier to be a woman than to move like a man, but I guess this is what equality looks like, right? Let's go ahead and get the conversation started below. Let me know what you think about all of this, and don't forget to smash that subscribe button, like, and share.
Oh, yeah. We starting the morning off controversial, baby. Starting the morning off controversial. We got DJ B Slide. Hey, I'm waiting for my my old school club mix, man. If you're drunk right now, put your hands up, you know. Oh man. Let's roll that shit, light that shit, smoke it, smoke it, smoke it. Take me back. And no, Black Swan, you are not old. Nah. You're refined. Got the Snowman, Detroit 313, Knights Palace, AB Media. Anybody need your websites and graphic designs, hit AB up. Got Artisan MC in the building. Must be early for y'all over there. Detroit, we're taught lies in high school, yes. Black Opal Swan said, "Have you noticed the accidental shootings due to they thought they were grabbing their taser? Once I knew I couldn't restrain that 64-year-old man, pepper spray and taser would have been the first and second." I'll get to that in a minute. He said, "You love the smell of controversy in the air." Oh, yes. Please, Lord, please bring all the naysayers and the ne'er-do-wells and all the villainous personnel to this channel right now, because we're going to get into it. Number one, how many years have I spoken about military tactics and policy and police policy? How many years would you say? And was I ever wrong? Because we're going to have to look at this situation in its totality. And fundamentally, there were some things that were done wrong. Number one, when she had the guy pulled over and he's getting out the car, she should have actually said, "I need backup." I don't know if you noticed this. There's a lot of males in their 50s, 60s, and maybe even 70s who still got their spryness about them and their strength. She's lucky that that guy was not a trained combat veteran. He might have been. Who knows? What if he was a martial artist? First and foremost, when she's pushing the guy against the car, there's a reason why they don't teach you in the academy to hold somebody against the car. If you look closely, the guy was able to push off from the car and make her unbalanced. But I don't know these things. We're going to get very controversial. We're going to get very into what this means. She had terrible tactics. I know people are going to be like, well, you just money, quarterbacking. No, I'm not. I would say the same shit if this was a male. I would say the same shit if it was a male. The stupid part about it is that nobody wants to talk about how dangerous this shit could have ended up. This could have been a tragedy. What if that guy would have got a hold of her gun? And for all you people who want to be in the private sector of security, because I really don't have to say this too much to law enforcement, I'm going to say this. A lot of you need to realize this. This is the reason why, if you're going to work in the open with a gun, you're going to need at least a level 2 holster. Level 3 at best is the best to me. Too many people out there are going to tell you, oh, men and women can do the same. Once again, till you put them in the same situations. Everything's all good and grand when you're in a controlled environment. Everything's all nice. Everything's all smooth. But when danger comes, you got to be accountable for that. Those were horrible tactics. First and foremost, get on the radio with backup. If you had to pull your taser or pepper spray and the guy's becoming combative, you get space. You could always get space, but you can't buy time. I want somebody to put that in the chat. You can always get space, but you can't buy time. I'm not sure about the county or the jurisdiction, but a lot of times, at least in the Baltimore Police Department, we would have somebody riding past to at least look to see if that officer's okay or pull up behind that officer to back them up. Because when you see two come out of a car, people think differently. People think differently. See, we want this thing called equality, but this thing called equality comes at the cost of somebody's life. You're right, Artisan. Great in theory, terrible in practice. Black Swan said, let me say, I would have called for backup when he started. Pepper spray first, taser second. If backup isn't there, he wouldn't and still wouldn't comply, he gets lit up at that point. He's mad and coming for me. Exactly. And yes, when that guy was overpowering her, I'll give you an example. A female officer, now detective, that I've knew since we were, 14? We went to Upper Bound together. And she had to shoot a guy. You know, they were looking for this suspect. I believe it was a robbery suspect. She found him. The guy grabbed her and, overpowering her. So she pulled her gun out, and the guy grabbed her wrist, trying to take the gun from her, trying to disarm her. So the grace of God, she cocked it sideways and shot the guy a few times in the stomach. He survived, but you got to imagine, what if she didn't have the frame of mind to just make that one little twitch? She could have ended up either in the hospital or in the morgue. Yep, Artisan, you can always get space, but you cannot buy time. No, you cannot. One, as soon as this guy is getting aggressive, you create space. She should have had her nightstick out. She should have had her pepper spray, her taser, something out. She should have had her gun side away from the suspect. Get on that radio saying, I need backup. But yet, I can tell you from experience, a lot of those officers in different jurisdictions do not think that anything bad is going to happen to them. So their response to things are going to be totally different than an officer who works in a metropolitan area. I'll even go again with the video probably. That is why so many people think that females should not join the military or the police. I'll leave that up to you to decide. But one thing you got to be certain is that any female who joins the military and police, in my professional opinion, I think you need to be training twice as hard. I think you need to be 15 times as vigilant, because if I was a suspect and I had to pick an opponent, I'm not going to pick the 6'6", 270, 290 pound guy. I'm going to pick the 5'4", 135 pound female to go toe to toe with. But this is what you call experience is a good teacher. Because any department who see that footage should have, situational training. They should have an after-action review, a sit rep, a situational report. Should have been done. What was done well, what was done not so well, and what was done well. What bought her time actually was those good civilians. Was those civilians who came over to assist her. That's what bought her time. Once again, I think any officer, when you hear somebody in your squad or anybody close to you and you don't drive over there to make sure they're okay or they need your assistance, I think that you're a piece of shit if you don't assist them or at least check up on them, especially when you're the closest. Male or female. But yet, we get to situations like this and we don't have proper tactics. I've said this to many females in the department for years. You better be training. You better be the best shot. You better be the best at fitness. You better be the best at de-escalation. See, when you look at Officer Faulkner, he's at 5'10.5", 285 pounds. I got some timing, some speed, some quickness about me, and some strength that may give me a little leadway. But I'm not gonna allow myself to be in the folly of complacency. I'm going to call for backup when things don't feel right. Hell, I might call for backup if I pull the car over anyway and I see there's multiple people. There's no shame in asking for help. And this is one of the biggest things I have to tell more female officers than male officers. Well, I'll take that back slightly. The younger officers, I have to tell that to, and a lot of the female officers I have to tell that to. There's no shame in asking for help. You can't do it all by yourself. And this bullshit feminism that tells women you can do what I want, I can do what I want, I can do the same thing as a man, hell, I can do it even better than you. Till situation dictates and say, hell no, you can't. How many officers, period, male or female, are in the gym? Let alone female officers. I've told the story a couple of times. There were 3 females, and oddly enough, they're all sergeants now, on Greenmount years ago. And they had this one guy trying to hug the sergeant. She was a sergeant then. The other 2 got promoted a couple of years ago, or recently. The one guy tried to hug the sergeant, and the sergeant noticed that there was a gun in the guy's waistband, right in his dip. So she's trying to hold on for dear life, trying to take the gun. He's trying to get the hell out of there because, today's not a good day to be arrested. So homeboy is throwing her around, trying to get her off of him. The other 2 female officers tried to help. Last thing I know, 3 female officers had to go to the hospital, and it took a male officer with an espantoon made out of cocoa bola to settle his hash and put his ass on the ground. Now, I'm going to give a poll. And if you in here, just let me know. Just say, whoo! I want to ask you this question. We got about 24, 30 people watching. It's going up and down. And I'm just going to ask this question. Do you think female police officers are a liability or an asset? This is how we're going to take the poll. You either put the word liability or you put the word asset. But for those of you who didn't see the video, I still got it. And I'll play it again for prosperity and time immemorial. Shout out to Pink Book Lessons for this. This is gold. No, not doing Ukraine.
Shout out to Roland for sending this video in. It's a female cop in Cleveland, Ohio. She's conducting a traffic stop, but she ended up needing some help. Take a second to make sure that you're subscribed to the channel. If you're watching from Cleveland, let me know below. Drop Cleveland in the comments. Won't waste any time here. Let's go ahead and jump into it.
It starts as a routine traffic stop, but this cop is about to find herself in a major crisis. The driver gets out.
Why are you getting out of the car, sir?
Right there, folks. Right there. Right there. It should have just something about that. She should have been on it. She should have been on it. Hey, I need backup right away. She should have made space. You know, get your pepper spray out, get whatever. At the same time, you make space. What happened if he would have been pulling out a gun? This is my second time playing. So for those coming in, hey, here we go.
12 radio, it's me on the step out of the vehicle.
Things go downhill fast when she tells the driver to sit on the ground.
Have a seat.
I'm not sitting. I'm not sitting.
Back up. Back up.
I'm not sitting.
Right there. Wouldn't you say he's pretty combative at that point? Make your space. Take your pepper spray, your taser, your nightstick, and you give a command voice. Get to the ground. You call, right? She should have called for backup the way the guy came out the car anyway. Bad tactic, man.
Then it gets really ugly.
Put your hands on the vehicle now!
But look at this. A citizen runs.
But look how he pushed off the vehicle to gain leverage. Look how he get off the vehicle to gain leverage. I've heard many of females talk about fighting men, but I never heard too many talk about winning. Look how he pushed off the vehicle. I'm going to say this. There's so many cops when they're trying to take down a suspect. I'm always almost laughing. And I'm not trying to sit at a place of superiority, but I laugh because, one, the human legs are incredibly strong. Incredibly strong. At the right angle, you can have 3 cops on one motherfucker and he can drag them down the street. You can try to pull a person down, but if he has the right angle and strong enough legs, he can drag your ass for a minute. That's why I always suggested, if I had to change defense tactics, basic boxing, basic wrestling, basic ground fighting, know how to hit, know how to wrestle, know how to joint lock, know how to use joint locks, leverage, know how to hit a person the proper way, know how to block, know how to dodge, know how to create distance, space, know how to do a single leg and a double leg, know how to do a bear hug into a trip, learn how to do a throw, over the shoulder, over the hip. You never know when you might need it. But as soon as he pushed off on her, notice the tables have turned. I'm going to rewind that for a second.
Ground.
Have a seat.
I'm not sitting. I'm not sitting.
Back up. Back up.
I'm not sitting.
Then it gets really ugly.
Put your hands on the vehicle now!
But look at this. A citizen runs over to help.
Wait a minute. Roll around your stomach now!
Then,
The criminal part about that shit was, that's when you call for backup. And notice what the guy did. He got a waist lock, dragged his weight, and tripped the guy down. Basic wrestling, 101. That's one of the basic wrestling moves I would teach a new a new guy or new girl to wrestling. Basic. And you're telling me that that's the time she calls for backup? That's the time when she realized there's a problem? I'm not being a Monday morning quarterback, but yes, you have to have some time in your life to say, hey, this ain't looking good. I'm going to need some units. This guy, because it sounded like he was either upset or he might be a possible mental case. You know, that proper term, behavioral disturbance. What's up, Nino? Nino said she should have never have graduated from the police academy. That was wanting to be tough to show she had it. Yeah, I mean, one, I think that a lot of the de-escalation factors didn't play out. Like, whoa, calm down, sir. Calm down, sir. Get your space. Make sure your gun side is away. Whoa. Calm down, sir. Get on the radio. Can I get some units? I see too much of people wanting to be tough for the sake of being tough, but guess what? There's a lot of tough men in the grave, okay? There's a lot of tough women in the grave. Depending on the jurisdiction in the state and what falls out of the civilians getting involved. What fall out for the civilians getting involved? A kudos, most times. Most times it's a kudos. See, and when you're in an urban environment does not cultivate a communal feeling or communal sense. Meaning, most people are going to mind their business in a metropolitan or urban environment compared to a much more rural or small town. Because, you know, the same attitude people have about the military. I'm not joining no white man's military, even though it was your military before it was any white man's. So, a lot of times, you know, it gets interesting. AB said asset depending on how you use them. They believe Sarah Connors could kill the Terminator when she couldn't kill the original Terminator by herself, which is facts. Well, we're going to continue this one. The rewatch.
More Good Samaritans, including another woman, join in. A second police officer also arrives on the scene. Working together, they put the driver in handcuffs.
You don't do that to a woman. Do you understand me?
Then he's led away. We located one of those Good Samaritans, Stacia Matucci, the woman who gave the guy a talk.
You notice that they only found a woman? They didn't talk about the first man who actually got him on the ground. They didn't have the other guy who had him in a heel hook on his legs. None of the other guys got the acclaim, but they want to make this girl power, feminist, you know, girl power bullshit when girl power got you in the situation in the goddamn first place. I'll be damned. I'll be damned. And notice that other lady was not going to get into it until she knew the men had him right there and kept them tight on the ground. Just so she could talk her, you don't do this to a woman. You hear me? Do you understand me? You know, do this to a woman. I know, I'm an asshole. Go ahead and say it. I'm an ass. Oh, man. Don't forget to support the super chat and the cash app. This is bullshit.
talking to.
You don't do that to a woman.
What compelled you to get out of your car and help?
I didn't even think about it. It was just somebody that was in need of help. So many people just pull out their camera and want to film it and put it on TikTok. And all the action of helping has stopped. I just feel, it's just a part of being human.
Today, police outside Cleveland are praising all those citizens who came to the rescue.
It shows the bravery on their part because they had no idea what they were stepping into. They could have been risking their lives to assist that officer.
I'm not sick!
Back off! The driver, 64-year-old David Kubek, was charged with assault and resisting arrest. He's pleaded not guilty, claiming he acted in self-defense.
First off, let's get this out of the way. The guy, he is 100% out of order. If he had followed orders, he wouldn't have gotten arrested. I'm going to go ahead and say what even some officers can't say. Female officers and female security guards shouldn't even really exist. And if so, not for this. How is she supposed to protect and serve anybody when she can't protect herself? That's an old man too, by the way. He's 64 years old and still overpowered her. Female officers, maybe they should stick to the administrative work or just do something else that doesn't put her in danger physically. Because she's a woman. I understand a lot of you women think you're as strong as a man and you can do whatever he can do and do it better. Yeah, all that feminism rhetoric you heard, but this is real life. 5 dudes had to run over there to help her. Yet the media, they're focusing on the one woman who came to not really help because they basically had it under control by the time she came over there. And if they didn't, she wasn't the good Samaritan that helped. Here's more of that queen, goddess, warrior foolishness. I'm sorry, women doing jobs like this is more of a liability than anything. A liability for men who work with her and have to protect her, and a liability for regular civilians too. You need to go get another job. This is super embarrassing, and they're trying to make it seem like the women in the situation, they're the heroes. I told y'all, don't let that woman king and that Hollywood foolishness get you hemmed up in the streets for real, ladies. It's way easier to be a woman than to move like a man, but I guess this is what equality looks like, right? Let's go ahead and get the conversation started below. Let me know what you think about all this, and don't.
I'm gonna say this, man. There's so many incidents where she could have literally pulled out her weapon, even though while they were that close, I wouldn't have pulled it out. But it's funny that a lot of these people will come out there well, I mean, he attacked the way you're supposed to from the least resistance. You're talking about the big fat guy. The big fat guy saved her life. He's a hero. Yes, you attack from the blind side. There's another video I'm going to put in. And this happened actually in Baltimore a few years back. Everybody thinks the females are so innocent. Everybody wants to be treated equal until equality is thrust upon you. Let me see if I can find this joint. There we go.
Eagly's body on camera video. Again, he's at the intersection of Baltimore Avenue and Gay Street. When he observes a vehicle coming towards him. As you notice, the red light has gone red for the northbound traffic. The car comes through the intersection. towards the officer, then makes a turn, doing a U-turn.
For those of you, this is downtown Baltimore, bottom block.
Who then pulls out his firearm, order the driver out of the vehicle.
For those of you who don't know, this is downtown Baltimore. This area right here, which is what? Baltimore Street, which is hilarious because this one block you have the strip clubs in between police headquarters and in between City Hall. You have the block, the strip joints. And I actually know the person involved in this, and he's a damn good officer and a damn good tech.
The officer reholds his weapon and approaches the driver, closes the door.
I believe this is what, Baltimore, maybe gay?
Everybody in the unit here is spin on it. Baltimore and gay.
Yeah, Baltimore gay.
Don't touch me!
As you can see, this is obviously somebody who is mentally disturbed. Driving a car, she has police, all around blocking the intersection, and she drives through a red light. And you can hear her yelling, I feel threatened. I feel threatened. Watch what else happens. Remember, some of these mental issues stem from, a lot of these ladies out here feeling they're equal to people. And this is what police have to go through.
Don't touch me! You're being video recorded. Touch me! If you don't violate my rights, I'm not going to violate yours. Hit me with your car. Push your way in the lane. It's blocked. You're stupid. Don't talk to me.
The officer makes a determination to take the driver into custody. You can see she strikes the officer and strikes him a second time, causing her backup officer, Officer Love, to then struck the driver. Next, we're going to see Officer IBMOR Barrios. He was a backup officer who arrived at the scene. Just from another vantage point, you could see the struggle with the driver after Officer Love had struck her.
Hey, I got a woman here. She's punched me in the face 2 times. It's on by the camera. She's fine. She's fine.
Backup officers arrive, and the medic is called to take her in. Have her checked both mentally and physically.
She took 2 swings. She hit me in the face. I'm fine. She's on the ground on her own motion. No thing. She tried to hit us with a car. Now she took punches.
As you can see, not one person uttered a word when she was striking the sergeant. And by the way, did you notice what race the sergeant was? He was white. So you can imagine what would happen if a white sergeant would have hit a black female. Baltimore would have still been burning 2 years ago. That detective, he didn't do anything wrong. Because that lady was an aggressor, whether she was in her right state of mind or not. And he used sufficient force. Too bad for her. She was knocked the shit out of her. It knocked the shit out of her, cold cocked her ass. But guess what? He hit her. She went to the ground. She went limp. They put her in handcuffs. They called for medics. I don't see anything wrong with it.
Punching in the face twice.
see that bullshit? Nobody sees her. Cold cocked the sergeant twice. Well, we don't have precincts in Baltimore. We have districts. Because a precinct, you could be anywhere. A district, you're by geological location. Oh, trust me, there's more. Let me put this up again.
The sergeant handcuffs the driver, who begins to speak in a moment, and the transport vehicle arrives to hold the driver, waiting for the medics to transport.
Stand up, man. Come on. Come on, man. Get off of me. Stand up. Get off of me. You're violating my rights. You're violating my rights. You're violating my rights.
I want you to look at that. Violated her rights, right? Violated her rights. Nino said, the white officer is correct. He had his taser, and the other, the black officer, who I actually know who he is, has his gun out looking at that because he didn't have that out unless someone was pointed in that one at him. Yep. I'm just gonna tell you, man, it's frustrating because you see the differences on both sides of the law, where you see a lot of this favoritism, you see a lot of this feminist ideology that plays out. You seen it. You violated my rights, but you could see her come out the car, flop on the ground, like she lost her mind. Yes, she was an emergency petition. Maybe she was in her mind. Maybe she wasn't. Maybe she thought that she could get away with shit. Who knows? Who knows? And shout out to D-Rock Den for the Cash App. Woo! You know, what does that Mary say? You going to get this work. You going to get this work. Oh, man. Simps make me laugh. But guess what? That simp Mary would never say she's wrong, isn't she? They were like, why did that black man hit that black woman? She ain't do nothing wrong. You know she ain't do nothing wrong. You gonna go get this work. Fat ass. I keep telling y'all, that's the reason why you support black male media. No, nobody want to tell you about how a lot of black females assault black officers. None of them gonna tell you that shit. Let's look at another incident where where a lot of these feminists and their ideology think they could get away with shit. Goddamn computer, come on. What the hell? DJ B Slide. Woo! Thank you, bro. Gotta get a shout out to them, lads. Give me 1 second, folks.
NYPD has released body cam video showing the moments leading up to an officer punching a woman in Harlem. The video starts with police arresting 22-year-old Elvin James. He was wanted in connection with an attempted murder, and police say that he was carrying a loaded illegal ghost gun. During the arrest, 19-year-old Tamani Crum approaches. She is grabbed by Officer Kendo Kinsey. The two get into a shoving match, and within seconds, Kinsey struck the 19-year-old, knocking her to the ground. This morning, Mayor Adams strongly defended the actions of Officer Kinsey.
But let's be clear. They were arresting a person who was being pursued for attempted murder. He was armed with a ghost gun in his belt, and people got in and interrupted while police were taking action. That just can't happen.
Everybody hear that? Everybody hear that, right? Just let me know if you heard it. You know, shout out to DJ B Slide. You know, woo! With the $20 super chat. You know, shout out to Mr. Ruffin. Everybody's favorite captain, Jack, in the building. Oh, man, he said protection money. It's skinny little lizards like Charles Faulkner thinking that they the last dragon that gives Kung Fu a bad name, catches bullets with his teeth. Woo, that was funny. Thanks. Oh, man, I got to give y'all a salute. You know, give y'all salute.
Woo!
One more for the captain.
Woo!
Yeah. Yeah, son is hot raw. People interrupted, meaning they were trying to protect the criminal. Yes. I mean, you should see the other videos where she's in there talking about yeah, you gonna get this work. You gonna get this work. I mean, come on, Mary. Come on. You know, that's the same guy who I came to his channel to debate him, and he didn't like the fact that I asked him this one question. Would you allow your son to date any of the women on his chat who are a bunch of man haters? And he ignored it. So I asked it even louder the second time. And that's when he wanted to pull me down from his channel. But he won't ever come over here to debate, so it is what it is. You know how cowards do. You know how cowards are. They won't say anything about it. You know, this guy will defend female fuckery. Charles Faulkner, you should do police videos, reviews like this every week. If y'all want me to do this every week, give me a woo in the chat. That might be a good suggestion from the Yard Man. One of the Yard Beats. Woo! Give me a woo or nah in the chat if you want me to do police review videos every week. Because this gets interesting. Because right now, I'm looking at a bunch of people who, when it comes to situations, they don't know what the fuck to do. They don't know what the fuck to do. You get people trying to attack the police for what? For what? All right, there it is. I'll probably do it every Friday, do the police review videos. But yeah, like, I'm just wondering, like, do you think that a lot of ladies would do this job if there was no men defending them? But see, this is the crazy part. They talk about, well, black men don't protect us, but you put yourselves in dangerous situations. You put yourselves in dangerous situations, man. There's the link if anybody wants to join the conversation. Even though that was the first part of the conversation, you know, we still got about two to 3 hours in it. So, hey. That'll be leave it up to artisan. Black Lion SWAT videos. Oh man. Speaking of which, I'm gonna probably play a video from this company I'm gonna end up doing training with. Yep. I'm sorry. You know, there's some things that I've seen in recent history that scared the fuck out of me. And I think that we need to actually develop tactics and tactical schools, especially the Black community. I'm just saying, because, you know, if you look at Uvalde, that was a bunch of cowardness. By the way, schools like this is where, you know, where the GoFundMe is. That's where we're trying to send myself and other people to train. So, yeah. So when people say, what are you going to use this GoFundMe for? For this. Oh yeah, definitely want to do this.
Contact! Magazine! Excellent. And shoot. Contact! That's it. Continue. Contact! Forward. Contact! 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 On me.
Let's get back.
Contact! 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 On me.
Now, don't you think? Oh yeah, that's not airsoft. That's definitely not airsoft. Well, if you go to the if you go there, you'll be able to get certifications for, executive protection instructor, SWAT instructor, live shoot house instructor. You'll be qualified to get your permit to carry and security clearance for executive protection and high risk protection in 8 different states. So when people talk about my GoFundMe, that's the type of training I want to send myself and my officers and agents to train. With those certifications, do you think that would have been useful in Uvalde? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Don't kill the messenger. Don't kill the messenger, man. So when people talk about that, remember, when you want to support your voice, if you want to give a black man a job, support the GoFundMe, folks. Even when it comes to executive protection. I mean, a lot of times we don't put a lot of emphasis on things where it's needed. So, hey, let me see where, there's the stream if anybody wants to join. Let's see if I'll share one more. I noticed there's a lot of questions people are going to have. You're probably so sexist. You probably don't like women. Nah. We're done with that. We're done with that. Even though the people who say I don't like women can definitely come up here and challenge me on that, but I doubt you will. No, this is where I've been in talks to try some other people into training here.
And we start from the basics. For example, how do I deal with a VP that goes out of the car to an event? Okay, what type of tactical solution I can give him when he approach an event? Okay. I rather the VP to sit on the rear seat, behind driver. Right, so I can have the eye contact, and also what can I do? I can also reach back and can control the vehicle.
Kevin, I want you checking the 6 in the back here.
Without an advanced team, he needs to at least realize what? That this area is secure. Make sense? If I have a problem, drive away.
Point. Bring it in.
VIP's landing. So in case of basically controlling the crowd, I'm responsible. Okay, let's say you are too close to me. Guys, can you do me a favor, please? You see over there, the wall. Please, give me some room. I want to take my VIP. Thank you. Thank you very much. If you don't mind to wait over there. Thank you, sir.
VIP. Good. Plug it in.
The moment the VIP is arriving and getting out, we need to give him the formation to get inside, and it's a close protection. First of all, move Jen away from the line of fire. This idea, and then shoot and join them. I see the attack. Go down!
Let's go!
To answer your questions, yes, it's for dignitaries, but it's also for celebrities or political figures. Don't worry. Yeah, Artisan said it best. You should break that down because most folks only see the shooting and not the move and the thought process. Yep, I should. You know, anybody who has a question, post your questions or come on the chat. Post your questions or come on the chat because, you know, I'm here to answer them. I've been on details like that in Iraq where you had to be on convoy security. And because of the person's information, knowledge, or the importance of the person, you might get left. You better run like hell to the vehicle if you can. Sometimes when I was in the QRF, we had even more ammo than the average soldier, just in case of that, in case we had to hold down a vehicle, or there were times when we were going to the convoys to give protection and support. What's up, Rob Marsh? Long time. Looks like some tack house training at Rodman's Neck in Bronx, New York. Yeah. See, a lot of people don't understand what the principal or the VIP, which means the same thing, the person you're protecting or you have the protection detail around. Notice when he pushed them out the way, he actually pushed them out the line of fire. And you notice how the other agent was backing up into the vehicle while having their rifle, because they were still giving the person protection and cover. Because there are going to be times, notice the van or the SUV went out there and they were laying down fire. There was a lot of hatred and lead being thrown down. Why? Because the most important thing is to get the protectee to safety. If you ever notice when you see the president, notice that detail. They always wearing blazers. On their right side, if they're right-handed, they probably have a folding stock M4 or an MP5. If you look closely at the pictures when Reagan was shot years ago, in that briefcase, one of the Secret Service agents had a Uzi with a stock. Oh yeah, plenty. When you have those United Nations meetings, don't fuck around. If they hear something as much as a car backfire, boom. Like, I want you to go and look at the President's Secret Service detail. I'll actually show you I'll show you a video if I can find it. Because a lot of people don't understand. There's a lot of rules that a lot of these guys have. Y'all don't even realize what type of armaments, because they're carrying around, the Secret Service is probably carrying around 3 guns at minimum on average. Like, I'm gonna play this video for a second. This is what you're gonna see in a presidential detail. Don't forget to support your black male media, because how many places are you gonna get this type of knowledge and information from? Sure as hell ain't gonna get it from guys like America. This is the type of firepower you'll see in a presidential detail.
Recently, a revolutionary new conversion.
Don't worry, it'll play eventually.
In first, burst onto the scene that blurs the line between civilian and military technology.
When we're in the middle of a conflict, there's a lot of very fast reactive development. There's a lot of development on the military side, and that flows back to the civilian, the commercial side.
This quasi-military, quasi-civilian SUV is called the Dillon Tactical Vehicle.
This vehicle didn't exist 18 months ago. Most people would say, well, that just looks like another soccer mom Suburban going down the street. But in the event that something does happen, you can get the gun up, suppress whatever threat you may get your people out and be gone before those people could ever react to that.
While the Dillon Tactical Vehicle is a new idea, the M134D minigun hidden within is not. It's an improved version of a Gatling gun. Mike Dillon spent 16 years developing it for its specialized armored vehicles.
The gun is particularly good in self-protection on a vehicle because it's easy to hide. You don't have to advertise that you're carrying a high-powered machine gun down the street. You want to protect dignitaries or kings or presidents. They can all be neatly folded away, and it takes less than 5 seconds to deploy it and put it into action.
While you can't buy this armored car for use in the United States, private security contractors who work overseas will find it useful.
Oh yeah, by the way, in case you didn't know, that Gatling gun fires at least about 50 to 100 rounds per second. About anywhere from 3,000 to 5,000 rounds a minute. Just to let you know.
Potential convoys, ambassadors, somebody who's going through a high-risk area, be fine to have something that's a very offensive capability like this.
Dillon Aero makes the 6-barreled electrically driven machine gun by hand at their plant in Scottsdale, Arizona. It shoots a 7.62 millimeter round at a rate of 3,000 shots per minute. The gun can be added to several types of SUVs after a vehicle is fully armored. Workers specially trained to assemble the vehicle as well as operate it start the process by welding metal grating onto the floor of the car to support the gun mount. Then the gun turret is installed. A steel box with a spring-loaded gun mount is installed after that.
Where else you gonna see this on? Where else you gonna see this manosphere? Where else you gonna learn this type of stuff in the manosphere? Maybe a woo for that shit. Woo! We're learning, folks. Think about this, right? If my company becomes big enough, I could actually get the millions and get this stuff and actually send it overseas for dignitary use. But yet, we got people who are committing fraud with PPP loans, and they're getting hundreds of thousands of dollars after they admitted to committing fraud. But yet, I want to send young black men through schools like you just seen an Israeli tactical school and get vehicles like this so we can actually make money. Those same boys who you watch with squeegees, some of them a lot of them don't have a record. They just not getting hired because there's a prejudice that goes on against young black men. How many times have I told people, why the fuck do we have nothing but females working in Advanced Auto and Home Depot who will never use these tools? Keep up the lines, don't know what the guy. If you don't cultivate it, if you don't cultivate the boys while they're young, don't expect ends and dividends from them when they become men. Somebody put that in the chat. if you don't cultivate the boys while they're young, don't expect ends and dividends from them when they become men. But yet, we'll constantly say, why can't you get a job? Why? Because you won't hire me. Why? Because you won't train me. But when I'm offering to train young men, when I'm offering to give them positions and to be able to compete against these other companies, a lot of people don't understand what it means. A lot of people don't understand. And shout out to Greg with the $10. Woo! Big up to the personal security. And shout out to the supporter of the day, Beef and Brock. Woo! Keep it going. Thank you for that generous donation. But a lot of times, we always say, hey, we need some answers. When a motherfucker gives you an answer, why not take it? That's all I'm saying. Why not take it? Why not take it? When somebody gives you a solution, guess what? We need to be able to fund the solution. Because I'm pretty damn sure, if one of those man-hating channels come on right now, it's going to be men supporting that bullshit. Who were too indoctrinated to understand the truth. Just because I'm pro-black men doesn't mean I have to hate black women. Shout out to Rob Marsh. Hopefully, another protector and server, man. He's over there in the great city of New York. Protected and serving within all his precincts. He'll tell you he knows how it feels to be a major metropolitan cop. It is not easy. See, we don't praise the heroes of the community. We always praise the people who are at their damnedest, who are destroying it. We never give praise to the heroes like Rob. Shout out to Rob. Show and prove. Thank you. Woo! We don't show honor towards the guys who've been cops and service members and other people before us, do we? When it comes to our heroes, we allow other people to talk shit about them. If we were truly a community, when B. Simone said Martin Luther King wasn't a good man, she should have got her ass kicked walking out that fucking studio. She should have got her ass kicked. There is no fucking way you're going to tell me she can get around and say, well, this man's a bad man. Then you're awful. There should be hell to pay. There should be hell to pay when someone speaks against our heroes. Boss Security showed up in my suggested videos. I was disappointed she was trying to scapegoat Angry Man on the discussion. Yeah. A bunch of people trying to shit on a lot of our heroes and a lot of our content creators. I think I might call it that. Practical to tactical. But think about this. You telling me some of these very athletic, very astute, and knowledgeable young black men who are like clay, and they're just waiting for somebody to mold them. Either two things are going to happen. The right person is going to mold them, or the streets are going to mold them. Which do you want to happen? Last time I checked, everybody wants to be fed, everybody wants to be well, everybody wants something built, and everybody damn sure want to be protected. Why not make a monopoly off of protection? Shout out to the other faithful. Electrician 480. Woo! Look at a guy like electrician and artisan. These guys are builders. No building, no house has power without guys like this. They have no structure, they have no power, they have no walls, they have no sheetrock, they have no flooring, no ceiling, no nothing. But you got these same bitches out here who will talk about hardworking, blue-collar men who probably make 4 times what they make, and they're trying to shit on them. Get the fuck out of here. The complete and utter fuck out of here. But yet, you got people out there who make a difference. And see, this is the reason why the educated guy, the Pookie and the Ray Ray guy, and the blue-collar guy should form up like Voltron, and I'll form the head. And realize you all in the same goddamn mess together. You got a world that fucking hates you. Because guess what? Fundamentally, the world looks at you, no matter how educated, no matter how certified you are, you're just one big nigga in the scheme of things. You telling me with all these mechanics and all these welders, you're right, babe. We are the devil. We are fundamentally the devil. See, a lot of people don't remember in ancient Kemet, everything good was black. Everything red was evil. But once you come to European culture, everything white is good and everything evil is black. You telling me what a lot of those guys with natural talent towards electronics, towards mechanics, towards building and welding, we can't have a company like that can rival? But I'm wrong for mentioning this shit, right? I'm fucking wrong. You telling me we can't create a company that rivals this? We can't end up having a corporation where we have the physical security, the vehicles, the welding, the secured buildings. Come on now. Come on now. You know what? That's the phrase that pays. Not a lack of trying, but a clash of personalities. I want you to take that in consideration. Think about that. It's the little things that keep us from being great. That's what the sergeant said. The little things that keep us from being great.
Now, the M134D minigun is mounted. Hinges are bolted to the custom-cut sunroof, and 2 bulletproof semicircular roof panels are attached. The hinges contain sealed grease fittings to allow the unique sunroof to swing open quickly and smoothly. In a matter of hours, the vehicle is ready. a full load of blank cartridges are added so they can take it out on the streets for a test run. Everything from the doors of the sunroof to the spring-loaded gun mount to the gun itself worked perfectly the first time. The turret rotates 360 degrees, just as designed, so the shooter can easily spin around and fire in any direction he chooses. Some of Dylan's clients have reported that just the sound of the M134D firing stops criminals in their tracks.
The sound of the gun is ferocious, that it will almost take you off your feet. It is so loud.
What did you think about that? Let me remove this, put you up here. What's up, Mel?
What's good? What's good, man?
Yeah, I guess every Friday I'll do a police or security review.
Good, man. Yeah, like, you know, show passion what you love.
Yeah.
I think people do that way. Another business, strategy to promote your business through that way also too.
Yeah, I think we do need to learn how to go to gunsmith courses. Last Zulu, is because one, the firearms market is a very niche market, and you're gonna if you're able to become an innovator, you're gonna make a lot of damn money, especially how to improve classics like the AR-15, the 1911. If you can rival something like Glock and get a government contract, you'll do fine. Trust me. Companies who are security companies and police departments will hire you because, one, if you can modify their weapons and help them save some money and update their weapons, you'll be needed. You can teach a lot of the people in the armories. Hell, even in the military, if you can get government contracts.
What's up, man?
They said sometimes they want to be the boss, and sometimes they want to start drama. Somebody not going to pull their weight because they're not taking it seriously. And he says, "Heaven help you if you incorporate women." Yes, Lord. When you put women and thirsty men together, you ain't accomplishing shit. Okay?
Oh, exactly.
You ain't accomplishing shit when you got thirsty
people to use. So you don't know what right people to use that they know how to put their personal shit aside and do what's best for the mission.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. People want to be bosses. They have a miseducation of what a boss is. They probably go by them stereotypes that a boss sitting down just eating, getting fat and being lazy and shit like that. That's what they think that a boss is. No, that's not what a boss is.
Yeah. And fundamentally, people don't understand that there's going to be there has to be one person leading a troop. There cannot be a division in power. Oh, that's why I listen to you because we voted on it. That's why, nigga. Leave it alone.
Exactly.
Leave it alone. And
Like
go ahead.
It's like the Leonardo versus Raphael Roderick. Raph want to be the leader and shit like that, but when you got put in that position, you have to realize, yo, Leo, you're the better leader. It's like his attitude.
Yeah, and fundamentally, people don't want to admit this shit. That there's some people who are going to be better at shit.
Exactly. Like, there's some reasons why. There's more reasons why Cyclops is the leader of the X-Men. Movie technically can't, despite his experience. Sometimes his experience in what you might be just experienced in just acting berserk, but there's times you gotta know how to calm it down. Can't have berserk in every situation. You gotta be calculated.
Mm-hmm.
We have to understand that part. Like, you know what? I see why you're a leader. Yeah, like,
Hey, y'all need 40 cals. What weapons do y'all? What guns do y'all use in the NYPD?
Rob's a police officer. I guess you know that. Yeah.
Yeah, he works in the NYPD.
Oh, yeah. That's hurting my former training officer, Inspector Sofrant. He got caught up in the news with 3 females. Man, one looks like Jada Kiss, and he ain't even smashed. Oh man.
Oh shit. Oh, y'all use the SIG what is it? SIG P226. That's 9mm. I thought y'all went to 40 calibers. I know they still use 40 calibers in the city. So the last Glock 17 and Glock 19.
What's up, Charles? How you doing? What's up, Mel? How you doing, my man? How y'all doing today?
What's up? Woo! What's up?
Good.
Woo! Nah, man, cause I've been so amped. Really, I've been getting ready to go to the Navy so far, and I've just been studying up on everything.
Congratulations! Congratulations!
I appreciate it, man. You know, so I'm like, so I'm getting amped for that right now, and I've been looking at, I've been doing a gunsmith course for before I go. So I've been doing that for the last 3-4 months, and I'm almost done with that. So what I wanted to do is get a little bit of Army experience, see what I can learn, and take those skills and then use that to make better weapons and whatnot. Because I'm like, hey, the world may need a blacksmith one day. So I may need one day.
Now we use 40 in Baltimore, man. We use 40. I still, for my everyday carry, I wear my I have my Glock 23, which is 40 caliber. But when I'm working security details, I have a Glock 21, which is 45 caliber.
Oh, okay. Shit. All I got is a standard Glock, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've been learning up on my stuff. I got a Glock. I get my EDC. I keep getting 2 knives. Hold on, I gotta go look for it. Give me a sec. Well, actually, no. Give me a sec.
If you go to Smithing School, you better find out what models and what's all about that gun, boy.
Glock 19.
Glock 19, so that's 9mm.
Yeah. So Glock 19, I gotta look at it because I had it in my phone. But I got a Glock 19. I keep at least 2 knives, and then I've been thinking about walking around with, like, what is it, armor plate. Then I'm like, I feel like that's kind of excessive. But right now, currently, I'm in like Africa, so I wouldn't need none of this stuff though. But like, when I get back to America, that's usually what I kind of keep. I keep a Glock 19. I keep my 2 knives, and then that's probably like in my medical kit. That's about it.
Yeah, that's doable. I mean, a lot of people don't even understand that firearms and firearm safety is above. And now that I have my credentials as an instructor, it's going to be very interesting. Like, when are you going to start teaching classes? I said soon.
I mean, hey, you can do that. Put it on YouTube, my man. Hey, bro, that's all you need right there.
Yeah. You know how to get a good shot. You know.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna start off with the shotgun. Like, I can't shoot shotgun. It's gonna kick me like a mule and do all this flip. I'm gonna flip back and it's gonna do okay, whatever, kid.
I don't know about all that. I mean, like, even the shotgun that I shot before wasn't that bad though. I mean, I did shoot a buckshot before necessarily, so that was a little different though. But you know, I did a buckshot. I did a slug, and that slug had a little bit more power than I thought it did. But other than that, it wasn't too bad.
I mean, it's an ounce of goddamn lead. I mean, slugs aren't that bad. That's what I've routinely shoot. I mean, 50 yards away, I could hit a damn target in the head or the chest with it.
I'm still working on that aim, man. When I mean, like, right now, I'm probably at 25 yards. But at the same time, I've been basically teaching myself all these skills for like the last 2 years, or a year and a half, really. So considering I ain't got no teacher and I just been doing it on my own, I'm like, okay, I think I'm doing all right. But my only reason I learned this stuff was I was like, okay, I learned it from YouTube. And so I just like practice that stuff by myself.
Oh man, Ed actually said something informative. He said Glock actually let their patent go on their Gen 3, so companies are doing their own designs based off that platform. Palmetto State Armory is one of them with the PSA dagger. I heard about Palmetto State.
So I have a question. Wait a minute. So if they let the patent go, like, so I can just make my own then? Like,
so you could basically use their platform, use their patent, and model your own firearm after it.
Okay, I'm gonna look into that.
We're joined by Hank McCoy, aka the Beastly Nerd.
What's up, everybody?
Yeah, I just had to do my Friday, I guess. Thanks to Artisan again. You know, first he gave me this right here. Everybody loves Bria Miles.
Oh yeah, Bria. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, I don't know. I think my girl out here can match her though. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, look, do you got any chick I'm messing with right now, man? She almost there. Now she a little bit shorter than Bria Miles, but when it comes to that body,
put Megan Good on that screen.
Don't do that, man. That just makes me mad, bro. Like,
look, I can't wait to see her in that super suit.
She's single now, so she's looking at. She was someone to lock that kitty.
She's gonna come to bed in that purple Shazam suit. I'm just saying.
Exactly.
You know, every time I see her, I get my powers. He says you're welcome. Every time I see Bria Miles and Megan Good, I get my powers from the gods by saying my magical words. God damn!
I ain't gonna lie to you. That was like my two favorite, like actresses and beautiful women. Them two was like, that was my top two, man. Like, cause Bria Miles, she just had the beauty and the smile and the booty, the matching. Just like Megan Good was just fine. Like, she was just that brown skin, like caramel pecan, like colored chicks. And I just something about them pecan chicks. I just like that shit. I don't know why.
I told you, man. The magical words that say, "God damn."
I just want two. I want 2 nights with Melissa Ford.
Man, after that.
I want 2 nights with Melissa Ford, man. Just give me 2 nights. That's it.
Melissa Ford now could probably still get it. God damn.
She had no kids yet. Oh damn.
She didn't pass around. She been an industry nigga at the industry nigga. That Melissa Ford.
Well, fuck it. I'll pass her around too. She come over here.
She was always Bill Ford tough. You didn't know?
I know. That's what I'm like. Hey, she got a body still right. Like, fuck it. I'll be on her list. You got me on that list. Fuck it. She on my list. I'm on her list. I'm gonna fuck.
I'm just like that shit. Look, I know I ain't a millionaire, but I know I got good dick. If you want to find out, I'm welcome to my dirty little world. I tell you, man. Thanks to Artisan for giving me the idea. Every Friday is gonna be Security Detail, Police, and Military Day. So we always have to have a red pill lens on military science.
That's what I've been trying to. I've been trying to figure out how to get it. But I know I'm too old to get into a military school. But basically, I've been trying to learn military science just like the internet. It's hard, man.
How old are you?
I'm 31.
No, you're not.
No, you're not. You can still go because I'm 31. You can still
I
go.
know people who joined at 40 as long as they fit enough and got the waivers.
Yeah.
Oh
and
no,
right,
no serious criminal background also too.
and right
no.
now,
Charles, when I tell you I'm in peak human like physical, I think right now I can bench probably like 280 right now. I can still run necessarily probably like at least 4 or 5 miles. I do at least 300 push-ups a day.
go ahead.
I'm good, man.
And right now, you can probably still do it because if you haven't heard, military enrollment is down. They looking for
Exactly.
So
exactly.
Is it better on the men's side also too?
Yeah,
it's down. They can't
it's
find
down.
nobody.
And besides, they're offering some good damn bonuses and benefits now.
Oh hell yeah, they trying to get people to get in. Like, yo, take advantage of this. Yeah.
Well,
mostly,
I mean,
I'm not saying mostly talking the male aspect. So, like, they have to allow females in there now like crazies, but
I mean, they need to. That's the reason that's holding them back. God, honestly, because like even from people that told me that went to the military, all they tell me is the girls go over there, they say something about to go down, all of a sudden the women get pregnant, then all of a sudden they absorbing a whole bunch of resources that they don't need. So I don't even understand why they even do that. I'm like, if you want to pay them to just to gap their legs and just let them stay as military wives, just do that then shit. I mean, just want to go that route.
Oh yeah, I know a girl that went to the military. Yeah, she set us up. I was like, oh, yo, most of them females, yo, they will have affairs on their husbands on the side like crazy.
Well, man, they cheat on their fucking husbands like a goddamn what I'm looking for, like a goddamn first grader on an arithmetic test. They cheating on their husbands like it was an Olympic sport. You got a bitch two bitches with bronze, one bitch with silver, and the bitch on top of a lot of niggas with gold. Like they cheat like a motherfucker.
She said us up, yo. I was getting hit on like crazy and stuff like that. Yeah, so if female be acting like they ain't gonna get hit on, yo, you're going to get hit on. Deal with it. That's
I don't know why you're hitting on me, bitch, because men don't like ugly.
I like girl. For the opposite sex.
Yeah, that's that Thundercat boy. That's that Panther.
That's the Panther theme song, man.
Nah, I'm more of the hidden leaf Naruto guy, but I was raised in that era, so that's when I would keep. I was like, whoa, I was like the hidden leaf model. I was like, oh yeah, this is definitely out for that, man.
I see this video, man. In Japan, they got a Naruto hotel suite.
Oh shit! Don't tell me that. Hey,
you know what? I want to be a hotel owner and call it the Cat Slayer or the Castle Grayskull. You know.
No, I'm not gonna lie. That's what I'm doing right now. That's my main goal. Is to be a hotel owner, but to do that in developing countries.
Bob Elementary in Uvalde killed 21 people.
Hold on.
Over the summer
God damn it! What's wrong with this goddamn computer?
Have been looking for ways to make their classrooms.
Hold up, I'm gonna play this. Nino just sent me this video. I wanna play this video since I still got my little share going. Yep, artist as always. He's got the Black Line Security After Action report. Yeah. Black Line Security Squad talk. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Hold up. Artisan, I watched the rest of that review of Trick or Treat and I was laughing my ass off. I told you the movies from the early 2000s was fucking trash. I was sitting there laughing my ass off. I was like, oh God, I can't believe you actually watched that shit. That was torture.
I just watched the preview trailer for the House Party remake movie that LeBron James is producing. I'm like, what the fuck?
Another House Party?
Yeah, they remaking it. There's like two dudes now going into LeBron James' house while he's away for the weekend. They throwing a party in there.
LeBron said this goofy ass.
They're just sitting in there. They're doing the Kid and Play dance. So I'm like, oh man,
Lord, hold on. Let me play this video. Get everybody's reaction out of this because I'm gonna start teaching this shit too. Like, if you're tired of your police not going in there, standing around using hand sanitizer. Come over to Black Line Security Firm. We got you. Play, motherfucker, play. God damn.
It was working.
It's been almost 2 months since the school shooting at Robb Elementary in Uvalde killed 21 people. Over the summer break, schools across the nation have been looking for ways to make their classrooms a little safer and a little more prepared in the event of an emergency. Today, the Crane School District had that top of mind. They were up bright and early to hold an active shooter drill and training. Christina Burgess was there to catch all the action and talk with authorities on hand. Christina, this was pretty much an all-hands-on-deck effort, right?
Well, yeah, Crystal, Homeland Security Investigations, Crane PD, DPS, members of Crane ISD, and many more were in attendance at today's training. The reason they all came together is that in case something like this does happen in real time, they will know how to react and save lives.
What looks like a real-life response to an active shooter inside of this high school is only a simulation that's a part of this active shooter training to train first responders on what to do in case this becomes a reality.
We thought it was important to collaborate with our state and local partners.
Can you fellas hear me?
Yeah, we hear the video.
Oh yeah, just to let you know, I am certified, and I've been certified by the Department for active shooter for 2 reasons. 1, they want you to know what to do, and 2, they gave us the training because you could be sued, individually. But I think I'm gonna start teaching this class on the fucking slow side. Continuing.
To discuss best practices, lessons learned, to really kind of determine how can we work as a community to prevent these active shooters.
Today's training was set up and ran by Homeland Security Investigations to make sure these officers know what to do.
Wait a minute. That motherfucker looked like he's out of breath the first 2 steps he took.
I wouldn't want to say nothing.
But I mean, he's a part of Homeland Security. He's a part of the police. He's training. So God bless him. But God damn, keep your fitness up about you a little bit. God damn.
Deal.
We want to do everything we can as a federal law enforcement agency, as Homeland Security Investigations, to work with our
damn rifle bigger than her,
our community, to reach out and tell the parents, let the
but at least she come in the train to go get her son.
Kids know, hey, law enforcement is working on this. We do have a plan to make sure you're safe, because
you see that right there. That's also what I've been trained on. And that's the reason why I tell a lot of people to get outer vests, because 1, it's easier to pull you than to lift you out of situations. Make sure they're double stitched. And 2, you're going to have a guy who's behind you, usually with a shotgun or rifle, but if they have a handgun, that's good too. Because 1, you got to stay in pace with your guy. And let's say the threat comes from behind, that guy from the front needs to transition to become the guy in the back, and the guy in the front and the side should be engaging that threat. Continuing.
As children, as students, the last thing they should be worried about is their own safety at school.
Today's training was also important to Crane Sheriff Aguilar.
With all the recent incidents, it just seemed that this was a perfect time for this to happen.
Because in events like these, he says officers on all levels will have to come together and act fast.
Just to let you know, sometimes you might have to walk past bodies of people asking you to help them in their blood, because you got to eliminate that threat. People don't like to use the word eliminate. They'll use neutralize, but you do have to eliminate that threat quickly. Then come back and help people, because if you stop to help one person, that's more time for that suspect to kill or maim others. And believe it or not, going through a school with that armor, that rifle being up, or that gun being up, it is fatiguing, but it has to be done. Have I done it? You goddamn right, I've done it several times. It is very fatiguing. I played the role of the people who were the actives, and I also played the roles of the people who I was the active shooter. It was fun, but you got to take the training as seriously as possible. This is why I want to send a lot of my guys through this training because they'll see how reality dictates. Once you feel that body armor weighing on you, you're going up 3 to 4 flights of stairs, going through probably 200 to 300 damn classrooms to feel like it. You'll see what it is. And then if you notice, when you go into the average school building, those walls become really good for ricochets. Continuing.
We want to make sure that our officers are qualified. So I think that the parents can feel confident that, our officers are well trained, and, that's what we're working for. We're working for the safety of the community, the students, the staff. So that's why we do this.
With the safety of students and staff in mind, Superintendent of Schools Stephanie Howard says trainings are an ongoing effort to keep everyone safe and prepared.
We want our parents to feel comfortable sending their kids back to school. We'll be doing training as our teachers come back to work and as our students come back to school. And this will just be an ongoing effort between us and our combined safety and security team with our first responders.
And now, before the school year does start in a couple of weeks, Crane School Board has approved some updates that will be happening. They will have controlled access on campus. They will also be having additional cameras on their campuses. They will also be adding an extra officer to all of their campuses. So that means there will be 2 officers on Crane School campuses. And lastly, they will also be having radios to communicate with first responders in case of an emergency. Reporting in Crane, Christina Burgess, back to you.
One last video.
It's been almost 2 months since the school shooting at Robb Elementary in Uvalde killed 21 people. Over the summer break, schools across the nation have been looking for ways to make their classrooms a little safer.
Jesus. Y'all still there with me?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, as someone who is here in Texas right now, it should have been happening as far as, because I mean, this ain't the first time, and we've had to deal with shootings in the last few years at the schools, and now they want to do something because they see a video of officers not doing anything. I say you should have been doing shit like this. Plus, they don't even want to address the fact is, like, there are a lot of teachers here that are willing to carry. And I know people don't like that subject matter, but I don't know why people won't address it. Because I was watching a video some time ago about it. I think it's a school in Louisiana where every
it's a haunting image. The gunman,
including the principal. She got her little 38 on her desk. She pulled that out and locked and loaded and put it on. And it was brothers. It was primarily a black school too.
I know first and foremost, in Israel, because they're surrounded by so many Muslim countries, not all Muslims hate people and all this other shit, so we're smart enough to know that. But they're surrounded by so many extremists that teachers actually carry, handguns, especially Glocks. Well, it's funny that we live in America, and one of your major reason why you're free is because of the gun. I mean, if guns were good enough to free slaves, they should be good enough to protect your fucking kids. I'm just saying. Next video, I'll play this. This is probably similar to what you were talking about, Beasley.
It's a haunting image. The gunman entering Robb Elementary through an unlocked door. Nothing is stopping him. No locks, no security guard. He strolls right in.
Was there a school officer on campus? And was that school officer armed?
There was not an officer readily available armed. No.
Locals we spoke to say the door was left unlocked after the honor roll ceremony held earlier that day. The breakdown in security is sparking a fierce debate over school safety, with Fox News personalities calling for extreme measures.
We have retired military, we have retired law enforcement. They can be in every school, they can be outside the perimeter.
We need to install man traps. This is something we've discussed in the past. Man traps, a series of interlocking doors at the school entrance that are triggered by a trigger.
Let me. I don't know what the fuck's going on with this damn computer. God damn it.
Wire. And it traps the shooter like a rat.
This is what a man trap looks like. It's a double door system. system where a visitor is locked between two doors while they are screened. But it's too much for some.
Are you out of your mind? You guys want to turn schools?
And can I say something real quick to that point? Like, that's the problem right there. Any solution that is presented, it's always looked at as, oh, you out of your mind, it's too extreme. It's like, well, goddamn, what's your solution? Oh, I know. Let's take rights away from people because of the actions of a few assholes out there. That's your only solution. Like, that's been proven to stop any damn threat.
And I'm going to say this, right? This is the reason why conversations between me and my female friend goes awry.
It's a haunting image.
They're too liberal.
The gunman entering Robb Elementary through an unlocked door. Nothing is...
And I when she talks about the way students are and how underachieving some are, it's because, one, these liberal-ass laws have been made to protect criminals. Think about it. You're telling me that, first and foremost, these cops didn't go in because they were preservation? I look at Brandon Tatum like, Brandon, you were a tactical officer your goddamn self. You know that shit is not called for. What would you rather have? The guy shooting at you or shooting at a 4-year-old? Like, think about this. We have to really talk about some fundamental things when it comes to protection. And this is the reason why a lot of chicks in the black community especially talk about protection. And I tell them all the time, the first goddamn rule of protection is obedience.
Facts.
I can't fucking protect you if you're going to go behind my back and do what the fuck you want to do. That's impossible for anybody to accomplish that. And then you go into situations where it's extremely dangerous, talking shit to grown men 3 times your size, inviting motherfuckers in your house who are in the drug game heavily. And this is the type of shit where they're like, somebody needs to come and save me. No, you shouldn't have to been in that situation when I warned you not to do it. But I'm going to let this play, and then we're going to give Artisan the floor after this.
Stopping him. No locks. No security guard. He strolls right in.
Was there a school officer on campus? And was that school officer armed?
It was not an officer readily available. Armed. No.
Locals we spoke to say the door was left unlocked after the honor roll ceremony held earlier that day. The breakdown in security is sparking a fierce debate over school safety, with Fox News personalities calling for extreme measures.
We have retired military, we have retired law enforcement. They can be in every school, they can be outside the perimeter.
We need to install man traps. This is something we've discussed in the past. Man traps, a series of interlocking doors at the school entrance that are triggered by a tripwire, and it traps the shooter like a rat.
This is what a man trap looks like. It's a double door system where a visitor is locked between 2 doors while they are screened. But it's too much for some.
Are you out of your mind? You guys want to turn schools into maximum security prisons with man traps and tripwires and teachers carrying guns? If these people had their way, everything would be a scene out of RoboCop.
At this school...
That's called not being fucking reality, you dumb fucking liberal retard.
Yeah, that's the video I saw.
Some of the teachers carry guns.
This is the 45? Yes, Director of Security, 45.
Brian Higgins is a security expert.
We want to be able to prevent those people who are intent on killing others from getting into the building. Some parents will say they do not want their child in a place that looks like a prison. I believe today, with the technology we have, and the designers, engineers, and security experts, we can develop much more hardened schools that don't look like the days of old school.
Teachers across the nation are sharing the precautions they take every day. One keeps a baseball bat in her classroom closet.
Having to pull down your window cover so no one can see inside your classroom. The next teacher you know has a plan for if that day comes.
Fellas, thoughts, please. So, Artisan, you got the floor, Artisan.
What's going on, everybody? What's up, Officer Charles?
What's up? Hopefully you've been
Officer
enjoying
the goddamn law.
The goddamn law. Hopefully you've been enjoying today's show, Artisan.
I have. I was doing some work and I was repairing stuff, and I'm like, this boy talking some shit. That's why I had to settle down, beast in the earth, and said, I don't want to talk movies right now. I'm with Charles right now on this tactical shit. Here, this is a good conversation. But I'm gonna sound like I got the unpopular opinion, like I'm agreeing with the liberal dude, and I'm not. But for one, I'm not for schools looking like prisons because it just gets kids to act like they in fucking prison. But at the same time, you can give them security without making it look like a maximum security, detention center for youth. Okay, you can have at least security on the goddamn premises at the very least, and at least have them like you got people retired military all over the place. You mean to tell me Walmart can hire these people to do jobs, but you can't hire a security greeter out front of your school that's trained already? Well, get the fuck out of here. You can do that, and that doesn't even cost you anything. All you got to do is pay for it. That's it. All you got to do is pay for it.
And even the man traps, right? The way they design newer schools, the man trap wouldn't look like a prison because really the front door should be double doored.
It should be.
It should be. That man trap is like if you ever been to a building or you had a key card where you have to swipe in to the other side. And yes, you have to swipe in the first door and you have to swipe in the other door, and that person's trapped in there.
Shit, I would go for giving the student body their own swipes. All you have to do is put a security door on the front, and all traffic goes in and out the building through one door, and that's the end of it. But the reason I say I'm not for them looking like military institutions or prisons is because, one, the high school I went to, it was designed as a fucking prison. No windows, none of that shit, right? So that has an effect on the children in the school and how they behave when they know shit like that. The other thing is, the other part of it is, when they talk about man traps and shit like that, guess where they putting that shit? They're not putting it in a, upper class schools and stuff like that with the nice grass and shit. No, that's going to be your kids dealing with that shit. That's little black and Latino kids gonna be dealing with that shit.
And here's the
pat it down, searching your backpack, and you got man traps and wands. Like, nigga, what are we training them for? Prison?
And here's the hypocrisy of that, Artisan. How many active shooters do you see in black schools?
You can't. They searching you for everything. You can barely get an education. You just can't get a gun.
Yeah, the white schools, habitually, they don't want to say it, habitually, they habitually have active shooters. One, because they always have this attitude that it never can happen here. Nothing happens in a small rural town. That's exactly where trouble happens in a small rural town.
But the other part of it, Charles, is the part that they don't want that shit enacted on them. It sounds weird to say this shit, but white folks inherently understand what the right situation is in this country. And they understand when that shit is being infringed on, and they buck against it first. They don't want that shit in their schools. That's why it's never there. And that's why all the active shooters usually come to their school, because they're the ones who got the money to have fucking guns and walking on campus with the shit.
And let me add
black folks, people of color is so heavily policed, you can barely get through with anything. That's why it's the rare occasion where, he brought a gun to school. Like, oh my God, how'd that happen? No, these fools went home, picked it up from the cabinet, and walked back to school with it. Like, it was nobody stopped them on the way. Come on, man. But that's why I say that.
Let me ask something real quick.
Go ahead, Beasley.
To back Artisan's point, here in Houston, HISD, they already kind of have something similar to the man trap. When I went to my cousin's elementary school, that front door, you come through the regular door, you can sign in. They're behind basically a glass door that they can close, like a glass desk. But the second set of doors, your ass ain't getting in until they buzz you in. So they already have that in the inner city. Ironically, this is predominantly got a lot of Latinos that go to this school, as well as the school district that I went to. They just brung back clear backpacks. So now you can't have a regular backpack. You got to have a clear mesh backpack, as well as the dress code. They instilled the dress code because they had to deal with the gang shit in the past.
So no gang affiliations.
But in areas such as Pearland, that's the school that's Pearland High was always getting hit with a drug braid because they would always bring the cop dog sniffing through people's lockers. And it'd be a bunch of cats be getting out of school because they coming back to do a drug bust. Ironically, predominantly the white areas, as well as
affluent areas.
Yep, as well as you look at the situation in Santa Fe where we had the Santa Fe shooting just a few years back. That was a rural part of here. That's further between going Galveston and Houston, but that's where they had a shooting at. I'm pretty sure wasn't no damn security measures taken out there either. So predominantly white area. And so that also backs Artisan point with this shit. It's like, okay, y'all gotta come up. We gotta come up with something. We can't just sit on our ass waiting for the next shit to happen.
And let me just say something. Sorry, Charles. Let me just say some narratives and dialogue because it sounds like he's from the West Coast, like I am. He's talking about the Tenderloin,
that's Nina.
San Francisco. Yeah, he's from the Bay. So you know, I worked in the Tenderloin. I did a lot of work in the Tenderloin. Tenderloin got whole substations in the neighborhood. I told you I worked down there. I got some of my most terrifying stories down there, and I didn't believe kids lived in that goddamn neighborhood. Early in the morning, going to school with backpacks, drug addicts, needles, all kind of crazy shit happening. I'm like, people live over here? What the fuck? Yeah, so I know they got it there, but that's where is it? It's in the Tenderloin. But if you go out towards Daly City or something like that, you don't see none of that stuff on them schools. Those will be new schools. That's why I said all this man trap shit, they ain't building new schools. They building new prisons.
Yeah.
All the inner city folks are in old schools. If they put man traps in, where do you think they putting them? In those old schools around you brown people.
That's because the same people who were the architects of the schools were the same ones of the prisons. That's what they looked.
Exactly.
So, one, the best security measure you can ever take, and shout out to Kareem Austin for the Cash App support. Woo! One, you have to live in reality. That's the main security course of action you have to take first. You have to live in reality. Number two, you're going to have per school at least 3 to 4, maybe even 5, either police officers or armed security. I know in Baltimore we have school police for the public schools, but what about the private schools? You should have an armed contingency at the door and patrolling the rooms.
Especially private schools because you're paying for it.
Exactly. And then on top of that, there's no excuse of, oh, we don't want the kids to see the guns. But didn't you buy your kid fucking Call of Duty Modern Warfare that's about to be out?
Facts.
So all this hypocrisy I've always seen, well, guns are dangerous. I took my son to shoot a gun. Last time I checked, he didn't shoot me. He didn't shoot himself. He didn't shoot anybody but the target.
Yeah,
because what happens
if you stand in front of it.
Yeah, because
if you're fucking around in front of it, it's a problem.
Yeah, you get in front of it or put yourself in a dangerous position or do something stupid and foolhardiness, you're going to get hurt or injured or killed. And when you have a professional who can teach firearm safety, why not take advantage of it? And to answer Nino's question, Charles Faulkner Jr., what mistakes you think law enforcement made that you are a seasoned law enforcement officer in tactical defense? The biggest mistake I've seen them make is not taking assessment before they arrive at the call. Look at their surroundings, actually be in reality. Situations dictate. Before I get out of this car, I should already be tactically aware of my surroundings. And a lot of times what you see is the fool, like you see the woman who pulled over the old guy. She underestimated the fuck out of him.
Well, I'm glad you showed that video a couple of times because I didn't see the beginning of it. She was the one escalating that goddamn situation. I'm like, Jesus, who trained you?
Exactly. And what's always
he got out the car, he went to the back door. I'm like, nigga, I would have been shot by now. What the fuck is going on with this?
Think about it. There's some people who do go into the back But at the same time, you probably see me with my gun out too. Be like, whoa, what you doing? Well, my wallet's back there. No.
You would have asked.
And,
Look,
and then
good. Go ahead, Charles. I'm sorry.
And then slowly, I'm gonna have slowly you're gonna have positions up there. But at the same time, he pushed the dude.
Mm-hmm.
The vehicle. That's why you never see any cop in his right mind have anybody's hands on a wall or a car because they can push and get leverage against you. That's only in TV. You put your hands against the wall. No, that's fake as shit. Now you saw what he did. He pushed off and maneuvered behind her, grabbed her radio and her collar, and she was stuck. He's lucky that he didn't just immediately go for the gun. But that's the reason why it's all rookie cops. Wherever your gun hand is, if you're left-handed, your gun goes on your right pocket. I mean, your knife goes on your right pocket. If you're right-handed, left pocket. And you probably have two more where they're hidden, where nobody else can see.
Yeah. Well, let me say this last part, and I got to get off here and get to this next order. But from the jump, she did. To me, I saw a bunch of things that she did wrong. But when that dude stepped up on the side of that walk, and she told him to sit down, and he didn't sit down, and she pushed him, I'm like, you just aggravated the situation. But then she did the Karen thing and walked up on him and told him not to walk up on her. I'm like, the fuck are you doing, Karen? Karen got a gun. Holy shit. I mean, it went bad from there. It went bad from the jump. When he jumped off the car, it's like, okay, this is gonna be a problem.
Yeah.
But she didn't calm it down any. She pushed him. I'm like, you 5-0 against this taller dude. What you think he about to take that shit? Okay, here we go. From then on, it was just shenanigans. That's all it was. You could have played some old Benny Hill music to that shit and got a laugh out of it because it looked ridiculous after that. Ugh. Slipped on a banana peel. But that's it. I gotta go get to this thing. I'll be listening. Peace to y'all in the chat. I'll be back. I gotta drop something in the Black Lion mouth.
I just got reminded, police Karen. That's funny. We're gonna make a
police Karen. Officer Karen showed up. Yeah.
You can't tell me what to do.
Yeah, you can't tell me what to do. I'm calling for backup.
All right, Artisan.
All right, Artisan, please.
I'm gonna tell you one thing about it, man. It's even though I gotta go in a second because I got an appointment with the VA. I'm just gonna point this out to a lot of people, man. Every Friday, thank you, Artisan, for the suggestion and the idea, because I think every Friday I'm gonna do a law enforcement-esque channel. And right now is a great opportunity for armed security, police, EMTs, medics, and military personnel. Yeah, get your skills up because it's not getting any better, man. It's not going to get any better. And I'm the first to tell you that shit. But Mel and Beastly Nerd, do you have any last words to say?
I would say this real quick. I'm gonna try to be quick about this. I was reading something recently from because most of you, if most of you don't know, I'm currently in college pursuing my degree in criminal justice, homeland security, and counterterrorism to be specific. And last week we were reading something about the school resource officer and how a lot of people don't like the school resource officer because they say it feels certain type of way. And I'm like, see, and that's the problem when it comes to a lot of these shootings. Y'all don't want the necessary requirements in regards to defending because situations with the black students and then all the other stuff. I'm like, okay. But I would also add with our police and stuff, something that I'm putting in a paper that I'm having to actually write, martial arts training, self-defense training. That's something I can't stress that enough. That's why homeboy that was looking like the Pillsbury Doughboy with a badge on, I'm like, does this motherfucker know how to box? Because I'm gonna tell you right now, if he lose that gun, shit get real when weapons get disarmed. When guns start following and you ain't popped that knife, it's gonna get real in a fist fight. So most of these cops, man, that's one thing I can't stress enough. I said if there should be any requirement for the police, everybody need to have some martial arts training, whether the departments provide it or they go do the shit on their own. That should be a fucking requirement right there.
That's why I always say basic wrestling, basic boxing, basic ground fighting. If I can't get up from the ground, I'm either stabbing, breaking, tearing, ripping, biting if necessary to get the fuck off me. And you should know how to hit, know how to use your weight and your body and leverage when throwing a punch, know how to avoid a punch, know how to block a punch, know how to parry a punch. Yes, you should know how to do double legs. You should know how to do a collar and elbow tie up. You should know how to do a body lock, underhooks, overhooks, trips, singles, doubles, throws. Yes, that would be very helpful. And a lot of times, you know, as I keep telling people, not all officers are made equal. Okay, they're not created equal. So we got to actually live in reality and get these officers training, and then be actually, you know, very diligent and actually trying to understand this training. And shout out to Artisan, because I'm coming out with a shirt that's going to be KOP, Karen's on Patrol.
Oh my God.
Karen's on Patrol. Trickle down theory. And yes, I'm going to try to get, that's why, you know, I put the GoFundMe on the inside the chat. Support my GoFundMe. I'm going to post it on my community tab as well, because we need to actually support this idea where I want to send my guys to SWAT school. I want to send them to tactical school to prevent
You've been applying for business grants also too, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh, good.
Oh yeah. So, you know, I'm looking at the prices. I'm talking to people in the Israeli tactical school. The videos you saw, that's some high speed training and low drag. Why can't we have our own tactical schools? And, you know, hopefully when shit goes down, we're gonna get it. Hey Mel, you have any last words?
Nah, man. You just had it perfectly, man. You know, keep doing your thing. I'm proud of you always. Definitely, man. Definitely, we're gonna be supporting each other. All right, and y'all fellas have a good Friday.
Woo!
I'll be here for the Friday night party.
Oh yeah. Damn you, Artisan. Got me a goddamn another goddamn what am I calling it?
Oh, by the way, you heard the news? Our man is back.
Who's that? Edward?
No.
Oh.
Let me give you a hint. Up in the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane.
Oh yeah. Henry Cavill is back, isn't he?
Yeah, they say he made an appearance in the Black Adam movie. Yeah, but when I say something, that must be true.
Oh yeah.
Thank you, Dwayne Johnson.
Thank you, Dwayne Johnson.
Now
that tells you how great Dwayne Johnson is. He got he got kryptonite shots for everybody. Kryptonite shots. Everybody drink up, motherfuckers. We're gonna celebrate.
He hears the fans.
Also the goddamn law. Also the goddamn law. Woo! Thank you for everybody who supported. Cash App and Super Chat. Thank you all. And it's good. Remember, when y'all go to Artisan, I want to see about 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 people on Artisan's joint. You're going to get comic books and geek culture by the Red Pill fill-ins. You got narrative and designs and the dialogues. I'm sorry. You got Kofi Nino. He's a great guy with his documentaries. Hell, anybody else a content creator? Guess what? Support your black male content creators. We need it. We love it. Thank you. We love you. Y'all stay safe. Enjoy this Friday. Cigars and cognac, cigars. Woo! And we out.
Peace.
Shout out to Artisan once again for this one, boy. It's a classic.
Woo!